Yes, what is up everyone? And I hope this video finds you in good spirits. That is by far the most important thing. The second most important thing is, and it's something I'm doing for the first time in a long time, well, it's this. It's the very curious news from around the globe with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news item number 1. I tweeted this out yesterday, and it reads, Robert Lewandowski is the best number 9 in the world. Fight me, because after his performance for Bayern Munich against Spurs yesterday in the Champions League, which saw him score 2 fantastic goals in Bayern's ridiculous 7-2 ass-kicking, what? I just don't know which number 9 around the world is better than him. Besides maybe Serge Gnabry, who had 4 goals against Spurs. And what? How did Arsenal let that guy go? Which is, unfortunately, a conversation for another time since Gnabry isn't a number 9, so he's not allowed to be a part of this one. Anyway, I tweeted that out, and though many agreed that Lewandowski is the best number 9 in the world, there were quite a few that came back with something different, like Liverpool's Roberto Firmino. And listen, I love me some Bobby Chompers because his qualities blend in so well with what his teammates Mo Salah and Sadio Mane bring to the table, which actually makes me believe that Firmino doesn't always get the credit he deserves, but still, I take Lewandowski over him every day of the week. And I think it's because Lewandowski can adapt to more situations than Firmino or any other number 9 currently can. And actually, let me back that up and clarify. Firmino and others can adapt to all types of situations too, especially Firmino, who has an amazing IQ for the game and great feet. I just think that Lewandowski is more successful in all types of situations, if that makes any sense. They can all do everything that's being asked of them, but Lewandowski can do it a little bit better than everybody else. For example, he's strong enough to hold his own and hold up the ball against powerful center backs, which allows his team to transition from defense to offense on a consistent basis, or run the channels to get in behind with well-timed runs to unlock defenses. He's lethal in the box, he can turn half chances into goals, he can score with both feet and in the air, and frankly, the only way that I think you can stop him is to stop everyone else around him from supplying him the ball, because he alone is unstoppable. And is this the part where I take Lewandowski's balls out of my mouth, or should I wait till the end? So when I see others saying Real Madrid's Karim Benzema, who I think is on pace to have his best ever season as a professional, he has 5 goals in 8 games this season for a somewhat underperforming Madrid team. Well, as a comparison, Lewandowski has 13 goals in 8 games this season, and he has scored in all 8 of them. Yes. Every single time he's laced them up this season for Bayern, he scored. However, when people brought up Luis Suarez, that caused me to pause, like this. Because like Lewandowski, I think he can do everything really well, which is evidenced by him having 3 goals in 6 games and limited minutes so far this season for Barcelona due to an injury. But he also seems streakier than Lewandowski. When Suarez is hot, he truly is unplayable and you cannot stop him. But if his confidence gets low and he gets cold, he seems to get really cold, which is where I think Lewandowski edges ahead of him, because Lewandowski seems to rarely have long droughts of not scoring. He's very consistent. However, when people brought up Sergio Aguero, that caused me to pause for even longer. Kind of like that, because Aguero is a beast. He's adapted to so many different managers and styles at Manchester City, but one thing remains the same during that time span, him scoring goals, which he's doing again this season at an amazing clip. He's got 8 goals in 8 games in all competitions so far. So in many ways, it could be a coin flip between these two, Lewandowski and Aguero, about who is currently the best number 9 in the world, because I think we could make a strong argument for both. So maybe we should look at their international record to help us decide. Aguero has 40 goals in 96 appearances and no trophies for Argentina, while Lewandowski has 57 goals in 108 appearances and no trophies for Poland. So who has done more for their country? It probably depends on how you define who has done more. But I think we can all agree that Aguero is surrounded by better talent with Argentina than Lewandowski is with Poland. So maybe Aguero should have better numbers than he does? Maybe? I think that's yet another conversation for yet another time. But I do think if I were going to start a team from scratch, and maybe this is the best way to solve this, I would go with Lewandowski as the number 9, because especially as it pertains to his comparison with Aguero, he just got blessed with physical attributes that give him the edge, i.e. he's taller. And I hate using that as a way to separate 2 players, but I think it makes a difference in the modern game, which, as a manager, would make my attack more dynamic, right? To have Lewandowski there as opposed to Aguero because I feel like that would help my team beat the opposing teams in a few different ways. Now with that said, I love me some Aguero. What a fantastic player. Very curious news, Adam. Number 2. Have you seen the new Diego Maradona documentary yet? It just dropped on HBO yesterday and it is amazing. Not only does it give you incredible insight on the man during the peak of his career, especially when he helps Napoli win their only 2 Serie A titles that they never would have won without him, I think it helps you not see him as the cartoon character that he has become these days. However, it also shows you, sadly, his descent into the downward spiral of drugs, which in my opinion was his coping mechanism in dealing with the successes, the failures, the pressures, the expectations, and any off-the-field drama that he was going through. Which doesn't make it right, but it does help you understand how he got started and why he got addicted, which has tarnished his legacy, which is a shame in many respects, even though I understand why it tarnished his legacy. But damn it, what a player this guy was! And when you watch it, you go, I can understand why people think he's the greatest of all time. So go borrow someone's HBO password and ID and go watch it, please. For me. Very curious news, Adam. Number 3. A member of the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame just accepted a job as a scout for Mexico. Yes, Hugo Perez, who is deservedly in our Hall of Fame for his contributions to the U.S. men's national team, and who also coached our U15 national team for 2 years from 2012 to 2014, left the position or got fired in 2014. No one really knows, though I guess a few people probably know. After a disagreement with, again, no one really knows. But I will say that Mr. Jurgen Klinsmann was the technical director of the whole program at the time, so I'll let you put 1 and 1 together. And all of this happened because apparently Hugo, who was a dual national himself, having been born in El Salvador, had a soft spot for dual nationals, so he called in a lot of kids that had similar backgrounds, which makes a lot of sense. Also, he spent less time worrying about results and more time trying to help the kids develop as players and human beings, which I think is 100% the right thing to do at that age level. And one of these things, or both, or something I'm not aware of, led to his downfall within U.S. soccer. And now, 5 years later, he's officially been hired by the Mexican Federation to be a youth scout for them in the United States. And I don't blame Hugo one bit. He's trying to create opportunities for kids. And if those opportunities are not presenting themselves within the U.S. soccer infrastructure, then I can understand why he's helping create another avenue for these kids to succeed. But man, overall, this is not a good look for U.S. soccer. However, it must be noted, and this is according to my good pal Taylor Twellman at ESPN, since 2008, 4 Mexican Americans have played 1 time for the full Mexican national team, while 15 have played at least 1 time for the full U.S. men's national team, and 68 dual nationals have played at least once for the full team over that time too. So it's not like U.S. soccer is turning a blind eye to dual nationals, but still, this move doesn't sit right with me because how do we lose someone of this caliber to another country? Anyway, that is it. That is all I got. So let me know who you think is the best number 9 in the world right now. And then I want your thoughts on the Diego Maradona documentary after you see it, because I want to see if it changes how you feel on whether he is in fact the best player of all time. And of course, I got to know how you're feeling about this move by a U.S. Hall of Famer working with our biggest rivals, Mexico. And then of course, I'll see you tomorrow for previews and predictions. Later.